I don't know if it's in my nature, but I've always wanted to do things a little bit differently and not follow the usual path. And when you have that, this is where you can start to think, what should I put in place in order to achieve this dream? I'm 44 years old, and I've lived about half of my life in Europe and the other half in Asia, various countries, of course. I'm always in between those two cultures, building the connections, the bridges between the two. I was actually born in South Korea. I was orphan. I was in an orphanage, and I got adopted by a French family when I was 2 years old, in actually a little village, about 1,500 people. And it was the first time I think they were seeing somebody that looked different, Asian. When you are a different species, in a way, you do have to find your own equilibrium, your own balance. For somebody like me who has worked and lived in many different cultures and countries, you must have the humility to learn, to discover, to be curious, to listen, to understand why things are a certain way, why people behave like this or that. You are, in a way, different from other people, but everybody is different. Everybody has something to bring to the table. Everybody has a past, everybody has a different history, different circumstances. So I went to, of course, a business school, but I was thinking that I was missing some part, because business school is great to teach you about the corporate world and inner workings of a company. But you feel that you're also missing, the social aspect. You're missing the people aspect in a way. You're missing the institutional side of things and of the society that you live in. And so I decided to approach Sciences Po at that time and to say, I also want, in addition to my curriculum, I want to build and I want to go and learn at your institute as well. And so I was a pioneer, I was the first one to do that. And then I went to join an agency where I was doing creative advertising, marketing. And later on I moved to the client side. And this is when I went to wine and spirits industry. I think nowadays we live in a world that is a bit complicated, uncertain. And you do need to grind, to work hard, but also you need to find yourself. When you're in the eye of the storm, it's a storm out there. And this is where, if you have this anchor, you can think clearly, and then you can deploy your energy, your personality, and your strength. And when you emerge out of these storms or these difficulties, this is what I believe creates some of your leadership traits, because then people will recognize that, oh, he's gone through that and he's emerged, and I want to be like that. Success is a journey. It's not a destination, and it's a journey in which you must feel comfortable and energized, and where you are building your future and contributing to building the one of others. To me, that's a success.